started this game a while back, and like I'm like a quarter of the way through as a one pack, and I didn't finish, so it's time to finish it. Change it later. Control scheme. No, I'm not playing on it though, because the save game will be erased unless you do cheating like top 8, whatever. I'm almost tempted to just play Explorer mode, because I know this game can be tough. Whatever, I don't want to be too wiki, so let's do fast. Next is character creation. It sucks because I have to rebuild my characters. Whatever. Scarlet and Roderick. Oh no. Up stuff. I'm not gonna do it this time. Well, I'm not. I'll do that later. Definitely don't want to play me. this week. I could change your hair color. Yeah, let's do underwear.
What could that have done? There must be a way to spring this trap safe.
Careful now. That's... a forge. Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself.
is Lucky Charms these days. the twins. I'm gonna change this one. It's not a witch, but here's.
What could that have done?
Careful now, that's a
Better to detonate that. A whetstone.
a forge.
A whetstone wheel. Now what do I have that needs sharpening?
Are they twins or not? Let's see.
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them calls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry and out for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off on the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
I don't remember that at all. You remember the next part.
know there were orc ships raiding to the west. I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
expected to have an entourage? Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues, of all things. Agreed. Call me skeptical, but a little proof goes a long way for the rational mind.
lot better on
How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead. Seize upon our enemies.
vermin!
Valiant dash!
Okay, they're like stacked on top of each other. No idea myself.
This is the end for you! Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside? Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking? Indeed, for all we know, these dark-dealing thieves may be involved with Counselor Jake's murder.
Look for stuff. Yeah, it's like a thing to like look for 8 items in a sort of radius. I don't know why it's not visible.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
Wow. I'm still. I want candles.
middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
It's locked.
Oh my god. It's my Martian bit of whatever.
Behold the power of mages!
Oh my god. Well, I'm supposed to get it's like a crusty training sword. It's fine. I'm sure I'll find something first. It says lockpicks. Yeah, I need a fighting knife. That's what-
I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could
This
be
seems to be
our
broken.
lucky day.
seems to be broken. What's this? I found something.
No, not this again.
Stay up combat!
Feel the fury of the air!
Short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Careful now, that's a trap. This seems to be broken. I've spotted something interesting.
Stand down before I put you down. I've spotted something. Well, what's this I've spotted? Voices downstairs. The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. What's that? I think there are hidden foes ahead. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. seems to be broken. This 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 seems to be broken.
Another piece of trash.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The bloodstone defiler, where is it? Strange indeed, robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution, deceiver. The bloodstone, deliver it now, and I may deign to end you quickly. In life,
I toil to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of Cecile is mine to preserve. Her traitors are mine to destroy. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha! Run if you like, Defiler. Whichever way you take leads you to the grave. Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse. Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
am I one of them smooth-talking salesmen again? Come, give here before I sober up.
wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which this poor shell must suffer. Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native, tender water. My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. Swing me as far as your arm's strength gives release, and treasure long sunk I will grant thee. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. Time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes a lethargic hum. Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity, when the ruins around us were palaces, and the sun-bleached dead merry children. All this I have seen, alive, alone, alas. What do you say, kind knight? Will you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure?
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound witch. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
hoping someone special would be impressed by the way you wield that great heaving weapon.
Another one for the collection.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single ord in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue, will you, Bibias? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Scythiel. We're legionnaires, of course. On the lookout for orcs, for they have been attacking from the sea. God knows why they do it, but we stand firm. We of the Legion, liberators of Rivellon.
Liberators of liquor too, aren't we, old chum?
Shh! Just pipe down, will you, Bibias? Aye, a noble word for watchdog, that. For that is what we do. Watch over the local dogs that ever so often aim for one another's throat and separate them to keep the peace. Separate by the sword, that is.
Best way to calm a wily dog is to neuter it. Ha! Spay for pay, Legion's motto.
Just put a sock in it, will you, Bibias?
Ever kept the watch? Stood on the lookout for hours on end, bored stiff. Boredom's a demon, buddy, and booze is the demon hunter. There. I do declare it's time for this hunter to take another shot. Huzzah! So, you're source hunters, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
Agreed. A wizard is bound to know more about what is going on around here.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city.
Like how to wash your underthings.
Lovely day for a swig and a sob. What do you want to know? So, it's Jake you're looking for. Ship sailed on that one, I'm afraid. Fellow's dead. Murdered.
Can't tell you much more, except that I heard he was found face down in a puddle of blood, being used as a water fountain by his own pet mongrel.
They say 'twas his wife that did it, and I'd bet a bottle of brandy they're right. A devilish flirt, that one.
As if that proves anything. Just keep your trap shut, will you, Bibias? Bunch of barbaric bastards, a lot of them. They'll kill your spouse and eat your children. We've been putting up a fight against them, to be sure, but they have the strength of an ox in every single one of their fingers. Takes an army to dress down a dozen.
Well, we did bring a legion.
Just bite your lip, will you, Bibias?
Soyseal, yes. Where fishermen come to live and street dogs come to die. Now, which of the two would you be, then?
Just cut the cackle where your bibby is. Now then, stranger, if it's the city of Soyseal you're looking for, you're heading in the right direction. Even though most folks are trying to escape rather than reach the damn place these days. Not that I could blame them. This place is cursed, I tell you. First the dead rise from their graves, and then entire tribes of orcs sound the trumpets of the war. You take to the rifle, lass.
Fare thee well. Pass the ball, would you, Junius? My throat's dry.
Again, this is a single malt, imported all the way from Hawkesbury, you know. It ain't the local pig swill they sell for ale.
Single malt? Stubbliers. You've been had by one of them smooth-talking salesmen again. Come, give here, before I sober up. Let's have another drink while you still can. To your very good health.
Let the source hunters handle their big brutes.
force is within me! Stand down before I put you down.
Those orcs had a human commander.
How very curious. How very disquieting. One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
I like you much better. That's on the floor.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one.
I said to him, myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect...
So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years, the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistary, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sorcery, sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arthur mentioned?
These boss men respect. Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Far before his time. I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
little Sharon fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Filthy beasts, I'll kill the last one of
I
you.
said to him, I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door. Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house. I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect company. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house. Nonsense. I said to him, I said myself, if I don't
Take off for this time, far before this time.
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Taken before his time, far before his time.
An orc in love. When this little Sharon fades, she'll liberate the flesh. I said to him, I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Bringing your bloody orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf
Guts on the floor.
I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door.
Good.
Save that ship all by your lonesome. Quite the feat. If I had the magic touch about me, I'd have lent you my hand too. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Save that ship all by your lonesome. Quite the feat. If I had the magic touch, I thought the old gal... I don't know how you did that hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine vessel like that disappear beneath the waves. I thought the old girl's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze.
Like, so fucked up.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Fennel's carriage for a joyride?
No, he did. He drove it straight to the mother's back.
Oh, and don't forget the time you got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife. Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do naught but look on. Well, we were merchants what seemed like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than 3 men with nothing more to say than boo. Ah, these bleeding orcs, they can't keep off this place for the life of them. They came in here slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we could do to defend ourselves. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings round here, that's for sure. Maybe you can keep an eye out, though. That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd been around when our own barge went down in flames.
You then? Where can a few honest sailors find a living wage around here?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
Have you found us a job yet? Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. These bleeding orcs. That was a right stunt. Well...
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take it. Well, we were merchants. He's dead. Well, you never know. That was a right...
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Fennel's carriage for a joyride? Shores? Here? In Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, a ship's got a sail too, you know. You did 'em on madness.
Sauce? Here in Seal, the ship's got us madness.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Is that why we never sail the Youthful Door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him. Yours? Here? That was some fast madness. Thought we would...
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh wind? Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Is that Bertie still right, Muse?
Yes, sir. As fine a specimen as one of her stock, sir. To the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope.
That's why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore.
Speaking of youthful Gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
opening everything.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
So we're gonna diverge here.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
And you want the direction that they're all out.
Well, what does it matter? Daylight more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show them all.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. Curtius is my name, the Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies, perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
It's not so bad, hey? Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
Come now, it's just a turn of phrase.
Will you please turn your phrases elsewhere? Keep your pleasantries to yourself. What are you doing inside this warehouse, snooping around? If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my comrade Florius, or as I prefer to call him, Loose Lips McGee. As for myself, my job is to protect this warehouse, not chit-chat with intruders. That idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred out of this warehouse and straight to the perimeter. Let him rot off as zombies here instead of mine. Even thinking of him turns one into a gabbing hen. Please, leave me be.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my current affairs. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour. And of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman, and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about guardly duty and security breaches. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I
I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here. That fusspot said what? Well, old loose lips will let that lowly backbiter know what he thinks about that. So, something you'd like to say to my face?
I haven't a thing to say to you. I'm on duty.
Duty, indeed. Put up your fists.
Are you mad? We're guards, not drunks on the street.
Enough! Both of you, what is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an important matter. A matter of honor.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak by unnoticed.
It won't happen again, sir.
It better damn well not.
That old spoilsport Horatius can gripe all he wants. I won't let him affect my disposition. No, sir. That old spoilsport Horatius can gripe all he wants. I won't let him affect my disposition. No, sir.
Nonsense. Listen. She's purring.
This place reeks of
What
orc
fool
stench.
would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
Two-bit.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile. But my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
Agreed. I've never met an orc I trusted, charmed or not.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the honors myself.
No! She's harmless! Please! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Cyseal as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer! Fortunately, the Wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
I'm not sure what the last time. Yeah, I think I killed her last time. Because I didn't really cry like that.
I should have done this from the very start. That orc would have literally broken Ninius's heart. Thank you for resolving the matter. That orc would have literally broken Ninius's heart. Thank you for resolving the matter.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Wait a second. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tied to the Neverwinter here since that surprise attack the orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'll bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out? Thank you for heeding my words of warning, Hunter. Cyseal needs you alive and well.
Good luck with these Cysealians, Source Hunter. They'll run you ragged if you let them.
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Step right up! My word! You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief. Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies, or whatever it is you do with all those muscles. It seems even my usual, and I don't know how he... Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the snake?
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my performers. I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience. The theatre's favor has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, you'll have to find tried and true material. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards.
Tail! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head.
My word!
Step right up!
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king. The great steward and his rainbow of war
My
machines.
word! You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head. I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Sicil as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. Ha!
Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat. That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. It's quite a story how I found him, too. I obtained this curio by some rather sensational means. You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sicil's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands, but then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and necrotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut. Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it?
My word!
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicile. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst, you're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Oh, you've got to help me. I've been kidnapped. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, now help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Fantastic!
It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.
Hey, you there! Cut it out!
Fantastic! Bravo!
You there!
Bravo!
You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare. What do you call a source hunter who finds a way to draw a crowd away from where he or she would like to perform a clandestine operation? A resourceful hunter. Come now, it can't be that hard to find something to draw off the attention of this bleating herd.
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour.
By the